All right, two cons coming up, two big ones, and I will get to those in just a few minutes. But first, I wanted to get into one piece of furry news that's been going around for the past month. I've been withholding my judgment on this one because I needed more information before I set my position on it. I didn't want to rush to judgment like a lot of furries have. But this has to do with are they startup? Yeah. So they really are startup. It's Zweitesich. I might have said that wrong, as it's German. It comes from two words. Zweit is second. I probably screwed that up. And ich, which is self. So this was a designer label for fursuits, and they had to release their first line of partial fursuits to the general public back on April 16th. Now, I looked at their the numbers here, and now even without this controversy, I could not see this business model working anyway, because they were selling three designs that would have sold for $6,000 a piece, and they were partial suits. That is way more than what a typical full suit is. So what happened? Well, this had to do with terrible marketing. So at first we didn't know who the actual fursuit creator is, but it is Albino Topaz, who came out as the one who ran this. And it actually makes sense because this particular fursuit maker sold a full suit that was sold for $8,025, but that was on an auction. It means that one person is willing to pay that price, but everyone else did not. So, but anyway, I'm digressing from what I'm talking about here. So, Albino had hired a marketing designer to help develop the video and campaign for their first line of products. But from what I understand, they had different views of what should have been put out. And one of the big problems was that this marketer did not understand her target consumer, which are a lot of people in their 20s. That's the big age range in the furry fandom. So this marketer, who I don't think was familiar with the furry fandom, they did agree with what happened, and they had misjudged their reaction to the work that they would receive. They did not understand their target audience. But the big problem was that it was tone deaf. Like some designer labels have been tied to the exploitation of overseas workers, such as Calvin Klein. But one of the things that they've put out was this statement. Zweitesich suits are for those who wish to have an incomparable second self created by a designer, not ordered from a tailor. So this is pretty much an attack on other fursuit creators. These are people who put their heart and soul into their work. And people, the fursuit creators in the furry fandom have a lot of respect for each other. They have plenty of customers who commission their work. That there really is no reason for them to compete with each other. And again, this comes down to misunderstanding what this market is. but in a follow-up, Albino says that she has parted ways with our marketer, but this was definitely not the start that she wanted. Is it a she? Yeah, give me 1 second here. I want to make sure that I got this correct. I mean, I'm looking at the Fur Affinity page, and I do not see. So I apologize in advance if I got that wrong, because I know nothing about this fursuit creator other than what sort of business that this person's been doing. But she does have a Fur Affinity page, but it's been inactive for like 8 months. So if I got that wrong, I apologize. But so where does this label go from here? Well, obviously there's a lot of distrust with the furry fandom, but I really would not blame Albino for this, because it was pointed out that there was a disagreement. Albino tried to make the marketer understand, and apparently that message did not get across. So now, right now, I think the best thing to do is to shut down the label altogether, because right now it's already got a bad name on it, and like I said earlier, I don't think that this business would work anyway, because I can't see anyone in their 20s paying $6,000 for a partial suit. So the economics just doesn't make sense for me. Like Spike, my dragon, I got him for $1,500. He's a full suit. Sapphire, $3,000. Also a full suit. And that's airbrushed too. There's quite a bit of detailing in that. So for me, I really don't see a designer label. I just don't see it working in the furry fandom, because there's really no need for it, nor could it work. So yeah, it just doesn't make sense economically for me. But we'll move on to something else. Sonic the Hedgehog. Oh boy, it is worse than I thought. We already knew that the design of Sonic was really bad, but wow, to give him human teeth, that is so freaking weird. And someone even also pointed out, I didn't notice the first time around, is that he does not have gloves, but just white fur for his hands. I really don't understand. I don't think that the people who made this movie understand Sonic. And I looked through the whole trailer, and what I'm especially puzzled with is the electricity on Sonic's fur. I don't remember seeing that in the games, and I really don't believe that's how it works. So I don't believe they went into the background of Sonic the Hedgehog. I really don't. Jim Carrey playing Robotnik or Eggman, whatever you want to call him. I mean, I can understand why they chose him as an actor, but he looked so thin compared to Eggman's big structure. And we really didn't get to see the big resemblance of him, like his bald hair or the... Well, he did have the mustache early on in the trailer, but we only saw that resemblance like in the last few seconds of the trailer. So I really don't think that this movie is going to work just because of how bad it looks. But people are probably going to look at it just because it looks bad. But compared to like Detective Pikachu, which does that have a rating yet? Let's see. Let me see. What is? I'm looking at the Rotten Tomatoes rating on it right now. Lukewarm at a 70. And that's opening in 3 days, and that's just from the critics. But luckily, the director of the movie came out and said that he's heard us and that they're going to go back and redesign Sonic. So I'm happy that they're going to do that to at least make it look better. But I don't know if this is going to save this movie, because the looks of it are one thing, the storyline is another, and right now I just can't see it working just by what the trailer is showing me. I might be wrong. I've been wrong on the trailers before, but yeah, I'm just not optimistic about this movie. Let's see. There was one other one that I found on my iPad. Former Anthrocon guest of honor Jim Cummings has recently been accused of rape and animal abuse, and the accusation is coming from his ex-wife. Let's see. Jim and Stephanie Cummings were married in 2001 and divorced a decade later, in 2011. They have 2 daughters and have been arguing in a LA County courtroom over alleged incidents of abuse that occurred between 2011 and 2018 after the couple's marriage fell apart. According to documents obtained by The Blast, Stephanie claims that since her divorce from Jim, he has, quote, engaged in physical, sexual, and emotional abuse, including but not limited to death threats, rape, and various sexual deviant behavior forced upon me without my consent. Stephanie also notes that Jim is a, quote, very successful voiceover actor. He has provided voices for such films as Winnie the Pooh, Lion King, and as he has done over 250 voices. I'm not sure why that was added in the article. I already knew that, but she claims to have obtained 2 separate domestic violence restraining orders against the 66-year-old star, including after an incident on August 31st, 2011, when she says Jim came over to her home and slapped her on the buttocks and forced himself on her in front of their 4-year-old daughter. She also claims he later came up to me, grabbed my arm, spun me around, forcibly put his hand on the back of my neck and kissed me while holding me in place against the wall. She says after the kiss, Jim asked if she could see him leaking, because that's what I make him do when he touches me. Stephanie says she felt humiliated and degraded in front of their child, and allegedly reported the incident to the LA County Sheriff, who advised her to get a domestic violence restraining order. According to documents, Jim did not dispute the incident, but remembers it differently than his ex. The Disney star says that he was joking and laughing with Stephanie, and then, quote, I touched her slightly on the butt. He says Stephanie gave him a consensual hug and says the whole incident was happy. He added that his ex-wife, who is much taller than I am and a large woman, made no objection to anything. So you get the sexual abuse allegations. She also says primary reason James, does she mean Jim? Oh, whatever. And I separated was his abuse of alcohol, marijuana, and Adderall. Jim denied the allegations, whereas Stay is saying, I entered that rehab facility voluntarily. However, petitioners claim However, petitioners claim that it was a binge on alcohol, marijuana, and Adderall is another exaggeration, as I have never taken Adderall. Petitioner, however, has had a long-standing history of drug abuse. On the day that Hurricane Katrina hit New Orleans, petitioner and I mutually agreed to check into a rehab facility. He claims substance abuse consisted primarily of Vicodin as well as alcohol. In her argument to get full custody of the children, Stephanie claims Jim once abused a family puppy to the point where it almost died. She says that she and Jim purchased a dog and the animal urinated in the house. As a result, Stephanie says Jim took the dog and placed it inside a metal bucket outside the house on a day which it was over 100 degrees and left it there for a long time. The dog came close to dying. In response to the animal abuse allegations, Jim admitted to the incident, but says there was an incident where I put a, quote, tub, not metal bucket, over a dog to isolate it briefly as a form of discipline to its behavior at our vet's suggestion. And unfortunately, I forgot the dog was there for a while, but then, of course, I released it. Jim says he took the dog to the vet to get it checked out and claims it was in fine health. She also claims in another incident, Jim had taken a broom and hit the puppy so hard that he's shattered the puppy's hip, necessitating surgery. Okay, I think we've gone through enough of that. So we got all these allegations against Jim Cummings. But she has put all this out and has not said much more about it. Jim Cummings had put out a response to those. Now, I would want to see her get the police reports from LA County and show us what happened. Because right now, yeah, it's just her word against his word. She says that she had contacted police over this, but I want to see her, like I said, give us the documents, and they should be public record. Is it possible for me to... I probably should have searched this before I started the video. Do we have a... Now it says that the documents were obtained by the blast, which is an entertainment website. Let's see, and they have reached out to Disney for comment. They have not responded. Let's see. Yeah, I probably should have tried to look it up before I started the video, but right now my position is neutral. Just until I see some more evidence. Because throughout this article they said that there was documents, but they did not say specifically what it was, whether it was a restraining order, whether it was a police report. I want to see those. And they, I believe they are public record. So it's just a matter of just searching them up. So like I said, it's pretty much right for now. It's her word against his word. We will see, but I wouldn't be surprised. It was just an angry ex-wife just trying to get something out of him. Who knows? All right, 2 conventions coming up. One of those is Furry Weekend Atlanta. I am not going to be there. I haven't been there just because I just haven't felt the quality of it getting better, at least for me. But it is occurring this weekend. I might as well do a con info for this one. And while I'm doing that, BLFC, Biggest Little Fur Con, is coming up the following week, in which I'm going to be going into Reno next Tuesday. I'm actually going to arrive a little early, and then I'll be leaving Sunday night, just because I have work to do. I have some scheduled stuff, but there is a couple things from BLFC that I need to pass on. I believe I've already mentioned that Sapphire will be in the fursuit auction, so you get a chance to dance with her for 1 hour. I have a panel on Saturday morning, which will be my Chronicles of a Mascot, so you get a chance to listen to that. And the other thing I needed to pass on is that I will be one of your DJs at BLFC, and I am scheduled to be one of your openers on Thursday evening at 10 p.m. by the pool. So there's 2 stages this year. You got the main stage and the pool stage. So I will be outside by the pool playing some music. But one of the reasons for their delay of releasing the schedule is because, 1, there was a lot of applicants. 2, they were trying to look for some DJs of variety instead of just electronic music. So they're trying to mix it up and not just be one genre. But BLFC right now has not released their programming schedule yet, but I would expect it to be released in the next coming week before we get started. But a lot of the perks are pretty much the same as last year. You got your bowling, go-kart, you got the driving range, which there is a time where it will be accessible to participants in the convention. But Furry Weekend Atlanta. Let's go into programming and events. Registration Thursday from 3 p.m. to midnight, Friday from 10 a.m. to 9:30 p.m., Saturday from 10 a.m. to 11 p.m., and Sunday 10 a.m. to 3 p.m. Dealer's Den will be open from 10 a.m. to 6 p.m. on Friday and Saturday, and on Sunday it'll be from 10 a.m. to 5 p.m. Artist Alley will be open a little longer than that. It will be open on Thursday from 3 p.m. to midnight, and then Friday, Saturday, Sunday it'll be 10 a.m. to midnight. God Level Suite will be open Thursday 3 p.m. to 9 p.m. Saturday and Friday 10 a.m. to 9 p.m. Sunday will be 10 a.m. to 5 p.m. Video game room and board game room. Well, the board game room from Thursday to Saturday will be 10 a.m. to 2 a.m. Sunday will be 10 a.m. to midnight. Video game room, almost the same with the exception of Thursday, which will be opening at 4:30. There will be an escape room available. I don't believe... is it going to be for Fuzzy Logic? Escape room. Let's see. Is it Fuzzy Logic that's going to be there? No, it is not. It is the Great Furscape. Yeah, it's got something caught on my teeth. Pardon me. So to participate in, it's $10. So there'll be Friday and Saturday 11 a.m. to 10 p.m. and then Sunday is going to be a short session 11 a.m. to 12:45 p.m. Fursuit Games Headless Lounge. It'll be open non-stop from Thursday at 4 p.m. till Sunday at midnight. Fursuit, that'll be all days, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, from 10 a.m. to 6 p.m. Now the actual schedule. Let's see, and I gotta go to the app. Let's see, where are you? Schedule. Let's see. For those first time going to FWA, 6 p.m. Panels Room 2, a panel for you. Also Thursday, opening ceremonies at 8:30 p.m. at the main events room. Dance will start at 10 p.m. And they just got generic After Dark programming in all panel rooms at 10:30. They don't say specifically what it is, unless I click on it. It says, please see the schedule outside the panel's office for a description of this panel. Okay, that does not help me much. So it's just a generic After Dark program. They won't say what it is. Friday. More After Dark programming. Let's see. 9 a.m. Conservator Center opens, which I believe that is the charity for this year. Everything else opens at 10 and 11. What do we got at noon? Fursuit Dance Competition tryouts at Panel Room 6. And Fursuiting 101 at Panel Room 4. 1 p.m. Meet the Guests of Honor at 1:30. Second Life Meet and Greet at 1:30. It's been a long time since I've been on Second Life. I mean, I have the program on my laptop, but I haven't used it in quite a long time, mainly because that I've been too busy to use it. Let's see. So you want to be a mascot? Also at 1:30. Who's running this one? Furry Mike. I don't think that's the guy I was with back at MFF. Let's see. What else we got? 3 p.m. Silent Disco. And it is a... it's going to be 3 DJs at once. DJ MB, Finn, and Wolf Girl. Let's see. Every time I go back, it always goes back to the top. I really don't like that. Let's see. So you want to be a commission artist at 3 p.m. at Panel Room 2. Fursuit Cleaning and Maintenance at Panel Room 4. 4 p.m. or 4:30 rather is Fursuit Games at the main event room. Let's see. 6 p.m. another Silent Disco, DJ Null, Beta Monkey, and Palexio. Let's see what else we got. God Level Dinner. That is the lineup at 6 p.m. going to 9:30 at the International Level Bus Loop. Anything on 7 p.m.? Introduction to Computer Programming. Okay, I don't know what that has to do with furry, but okay. Going back to... what do we got for 9? Pokemon meet and greet at 9 p.m. at panel room 6. DJ Dragon Boy plays at 10:30. That will be the first of our dance for Friday. More generic After Dark programming. They will not say what they are. 11 p.m. Galextro will take over for the dance. 12:30 will be Daro Huskers. More After Dark programming. At 1 a.m. Apollo will be the DJ for the dance. Saturday. Furby meet and greet? Are Furby still a thing? Okay. Let's see. 11 a.m. Fursuit Menagerie. So FWA is also go with the menagerie approach instead of the parade. Dance competition rehearsal at noon in the main event room. Yeah, we got a lot of meet and greets. Silent Disco at 2 p.m., which will be Fresh Pete's, Wise Paul, and Bitfox. Charity auction at 3 p.m. at the main event room. Leo Literary Awards at 4:30, which will be in panel room 5. 5 p.m. Another silent disco with Cat Meat, Decibel, and Dodge. What else we got? Fursuit Dance Competition, 7 p.m. at main event room. 9 p.m. We'll start with 8 p.m. Line starts for Mystery Skulls concert. Okay, I'm not familiar with them. And 9 p.m., 10 p.m. is Mystery Skulls meet and greet, which a VIP pass is required. Okay, Mystery Skulls, I am not familiar with them. I'll have to look them up. 10 p.m. that dance starts. Kainu will be the start for the dance. Okay, the concert for Mystery Skulls starts at 11 p.m. So they're lining up early for the concert, starting at 8 p.m. Okay, that is really early. Let's see. In the meantime, the dance continues with Rekka. 1:30 will be Rune Tooth. On Sunday, Silent Disco at noon with Apollo, Kainu, and Nullstruct. Let's see. 2 o'clock, Floor Wars. We'll make that 2:30, going to 5. And closing ceremonies at 6 p.m. at the main events room. 10 p.m. will be the last of the dances. Fennec, not to be confused with Fen, will be the start of the DJs for the dance. 11 p.m. Rainmaker, and is that the last of them? No, it isn't. Doc Strakes will be closing it out, or no, he's not. He's going from 12:30 to 1:30, and then finally it is DJ Fursona going from 1:30 to 2:30. And then there is a post-con pool meet at 1:30 to 3:30 at the Marriott Marquis Pool. And that's in the afternoon. For anyone that's still in Atlanta at that time. That's a Monday, by the way. And 4:30 post-con dinner with Gus's Chicken. Again, if there's anybody left at FWA on Monday. So that's the schedule going on for Free Weekend Atlanta. So again, that's this weekend. BLFC is next week. As for the rest of May, at the same time that FWA is going on, Central Plains Fur Meet going on in Kansas. 23rd to 26th, Amphion, Ohio. Obviously in Ohio. Confuzzled from the 24th to the 28th. Let's see, that's going on in where? Birmingham, England. Verizon from the 29th to June 2nd, being held in Italy. May 30th to the 2nd of June, Fantastic, being held in France. And finally, Fur DU from May 31st to June 2nd over in Queensland, Australia. Alright, and wow, going on way longer than I thought, 36 minutes. Okay. Alright, so I've said enough. I might be back to put some info for Biggest Little Fur Con, if I have the time to do that. But for now, this Dragon's Mouth is now closing.